What's going on, guys? It's your boy Race Car Richie, and if you saw in the last video, we had a little bit of another failure with the car, and I'm really trying to get all the kinks worked out. I mean, I'm going to be taking it apart in this video. I'm going to be doing a boost leak test just to kind of see if we have any boost leaks. I'm also going to be taking the valve cover off and changing the rockers and lifters. Those rockers, those lifters are brand new, and I don't understand why possibly one of them could have failed. I still don't know if a lifter failed or if it's something internally in the head. So let's get rocking and rolling and see what we can find. So first thing we're gonna do is a boost leak test. I bought a 5-inch coupler. It's like an end cap to like a pipe or something. And I threaded on a valve. It's this thing. Let me just get it out. It's one of these valves for a tire. I went ahead and I threaded that in there, drilled a hole. And then I just hooked up my little tiny air compressor. As you can see, I don't have electric or anything anymore. So we're gonna use that thing and see if I can find some leaks. I also got some soapy water that I'm gonna spray around all the seals, such as the couplers, boost controller, another coupler, maybe a little bit on the intercooler, see if there's a leak around the turbo seal. There is a seal in here where the compressor housing meets the centrifuge bearing setup. Oh, I just broke this. Oh no. Well, I think that injector O-ring is leaking, which is exactly what my tuner said. He said, hey, look at this O-ring. You got to replace it. It's leaking. I think it's swelled up from the, whatever that stuff is called, the E85. And I'm trying to fix this now. I almost dropped it and I went to catch it and I just pulled it apart. I'll be right back. Fixed it. Okay, let's do this again. Yeah. So as you can see, it's only maintaining, it's actually not even maintaining 25 PSI. So I'm gonna take the fuel rail off and see if I can fix that fuel injector O-ring and see what I can do.
Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. This is what it's supposed to look like. And sometimes you can just use a little piece of rubber tubing or hose. I'm gonna see if I can find something that matches. Okay, made it a little new O-ring. Basically just took this pipe, which is a fuel line, and I drilled it out just a tiny bit on this end and then just chopped it and it fit great. All right, let's put it back together. Hopefully this fixes that leak. Go, hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range, cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain.
That fitting, this fitting is the correct, it's the correct thread, but this came off a boost controller, and it's got a tiny little freaking hole in it, and I couldn't figure out why this thing was still leaking. I tightened it up, I resealed it, I put Teflon tape on it, and then I take it out, and I really look at it, and I'm like, holy crap, that's got a little hole in it. And that goes to my map sensor. So right there, that thing could have been causing me so many freaking issues, and this camera won't zoom. That, where's my hand? Screw you. Screw you. So now, I got a new one, and I'm gonna thread it in and see if it leaks, and that is still leaking a tiny bit, so I'm gonna take it out and make the gasket a little bit thicker. That way when it goes on, it smushes and expands, and yeah, I'll be right back. Vacuum leaks are fixed. Took out the injector, redid it, not leaking. I had some vacuum line leaks there, and my nitrous bung was leaking. And again, these are not serious leaks, but I just want to get rid of every single leak possible. That fitting is completely dry, no more leak. Turbo does not leak. So now I'm going to take the valve cover off. I'm going to go ahead and do the rockers and lifters and start it up, and hopefully that ticking and tapping is gone. Remove the coils. I just undid all the bolts. I'm going to go ahead and take this off. This is the splatter shield, and I also have to do an oil change to it, but it's not urgent, but I definitely need to get it done. So this time, instead of using what me and Brian used last time, which was the file, I actually bought a proper tool for this, so hopefully this thing actually works. But it goes in between the rocker like this, and it's just a little bit easier to do by yourself. These are the new lifters, which I believe sit a tiny bit shorter. It's very hard to see if any of them collapse, but I think once I get them out, I'm gonna re-inspect all the valves and everything and see what's going on with it. These are the rockers, which these are the cast steel, whatever rockers, which if you look, the side of this, and then these are stamped. These are off an Evo, and apparently they have problems breaking, so it's possible maybe one of them broke, and when we rev it up, it chatters. So I'm gonna get to it.
Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They'll deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. You got a mind, but even that could change. You could flip the gray matter like some batter in your brain. That's why I say, fake it till you make it A. And if you play that game, then you just might make a change. Rearrange all the bad to okay. Take the worst thoughts saying to
Well, that took like an hour, maybe, I don't even know. So everything's kind of just thrown back together. I really didn't tighten the valve cover, but it's just on with a little bit of snugness to the bolts. We got the coil packs back on. All the old stuff is in there. I didn't find any collapsed ones. They're really hard to find, locate if you want. It's really hard to tell if it's collapsed. So Rockers, lifters are back in. I'm gonna crank it over without starting it a few times and kind of let the oil fill those things up. And we might get a little bit of chattering because there might be some air actually in the new lifters. So there might be some chattering, but I hope I don't get that knocking sound, because if I get that top end knocking sound, the whole head's got to come off, and we got to figure out what's going on with it. So yeah, let's get cranking away. Oh man, that's a bummer. It's still here, guys. Well, that didn't fix it. All the vacuum leaks are gone. The car's running a little lean right now, which is actually really... Wait, it's running lean? I don't know. It's running. I still hear the noise. It sounds really chattery, like it's something in the top end. So today I'm pretty much done working on this. That took a lot out of me. Tomorrow or next week, in the next video, let's go this way so the sun's in my face. Next video, I'm gonna try to tear it apart a little bit more. Maybe take the timing belt off and kind of see what's going on with it. A little bit more diagnostic stuff. If I have to pull the head off, I gotta do it. I basically built the whole thing in here, so it shouldn't be too hard to take it apart. But maybe it's a broken valve spring. You know, I'm not really going to be able to tell. It's something that maybe I need Brian here with me, and while I'm cranking over the motor or doing something, he can visually look, or he can crank it over and I can visually look, and we can see what's kind of going on with it. This is unfortunate because I was so close. So yeah. All right, now I'm going to do a compression test. I got all the valve springs and all that stuff. Lifters and rockers are now in the car. So just going to do a quick compression test and see what it's like. Maybe I can find a cylinder that's down. So I already took the spark plugs out. And the car is warm because I ran it, still made the noise. I already made the outro, and then now I'm doing a compression test before I leave here. So I'm just gonna stick this clip in somewhere else. Sharpie marker. be the bad cylinder, boys. Got 100. So when I was doing the rockers and lifters, the last valve spring on this side, the exhaust valve, it felt kind of soft. So I don't know, maybe I broke a valve spring, or I broke the valve itself. But I'm gonna have Brian maybe come over tomorrow or something, and we're gonna do maybe put a bore scope in there and see if we can see the underside of the valves. The other stuff I needed to do anyway, the lifters and rockers. This one's also 100, so maybe nothing is wrong. Because I think these were like 130, 125, 130 cold. I had the guy who built the motor make the ring gaps pretty big, because I told him it was going to be a lot of boost and nitrous, so that's kind of what he did for me. And you do lose compression with it, but even just now with the car running before, it still feels really responsive, and I never had an issue. I just never did a compression test with the motor warm. And now this is the first time I'm doing it warm. They're both exactly 100. And when it's cold, it's like 125, 130. So I'm assuming when it's warmed up, you lose compression. I thought you gained it. I don't remember. But they're both 100, so let's see what the next one is. I'm gonna say the motor's not shot. Oh, maybe it is. This one's 140. So I'm down maybe 2 cylinders. I take back everything I said before. I don't know where my Sharpie is. I'm gonna go with 140 on this. Because I'm a mechanic. Yeah, so anyway, I got 100, 100, 140, and 120. What? So I could have damaged the head by doing all my ka-choo, bam, bam, bams, and messed up a valve, burnt some valves, burnt some pistons. Who knows? Not gonna know until I take the head off. And unfortunately, taking the head off is easy. There's not really much to it, but I gotta get into the head gasket, and those head gaskets are so expensive. Before I do anything else, I'm gonna have Brian come over, use the bore scope, see what's going on down there. Maybe we can see the valves or something. But well, I would say this was a success because I put stuff in the motor, and it was a fail because it didn't fix the problem. So I gotta take the head off, do a bunch of stuff. That's gonna be in the next video, whenever that is. I decide to come back here. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna try to do a GoFundMe. If you guys want to donate some stuff, it's mainly gonna be for tune. So it's gonna be, I'm gonna pay for the tune up front, and then, well, with the donations, that's gonna pay for the tune. I'm not using it for anything else. Just money's tight, and I can't predict this kind of stuff. So thanks for watching.